Greetings. I am Sysfailure. You are here to learn the dark art of redstone. Oh, who are we kidding? No need for dark arts. Get rid of that. Right. I'd just like to welcome you to my new redstone series. So we're going to start off with a few basics. Let's just get out of this place. It's a bit creepy. Okay, and quite enough of that. Excellent. Right. Well, this is the first episode in the new Redstone series. We're just here on a nice little oil rig, so I can show you the basics of where you get it from and the various components and what they do. And later episodes, we will have a look at simple circuits, gates, and more advanced uses for them. But we'll just run through first off the basics. Now, you've probably seen this. This is your redstone ore. If you're mining away, you'll spot it. Now, to get it, you do need an iron pickaxe, and it will drop 4 to 5 redstone. What's in the chest is only really relevant if you want to do survival redstone. Some people do like to do survival redstone, but to be honest, it's easier in creative. But it's here for both of you. Now, this, you may or may not have seen this. This is nether quartz ore. Now, this just appeared in the 1.5 redstone update, and you will only find it in the nether, and only parts of the nether that have not previously been generated. You can mine it with at least a wooden pickaxe, and it will give you 1 nether quartz for each block that you mine. That gets used in a couple of more advanced redstone components. Moving on, I'm going to show you sources of power. Now, this lovely little block here, this is a block of redstone. As you can see, it's actually producing power along here. It's just your redstone dust. And it's also, if you just pop 9 of them here in a square, it's also a nice way of storing your redstone as blocks. Now, redstone torches. You see, I did use one down there in the little underworld place for opening the door. So these are one of your most basic sources of redstone. Simply stick redstone dust on top, and it produces your power. Lever, self-explanatory. Switch on and off. And that's just your cobblestone with your stick above. Then we have buttons. Now, stone button has been with us for quite a while. You hit it, and it goes on and then off. So you can just give pulses of power. Simply, just a block of stone will make you one of those. And then the wooden button, which got added a little later on. Now, the wooden button, if I just press the stone one again, just watch how long it's in for. And then the wooden one. So the wooden button gives a longer pulse than the stone one. That's very important to remember, as if you're ever copying any designs you see, aesthetically a lot of people prefer the wooden button, but put it in designs that require the stone button and wonder why it goes wrong. So important to remember, and all it needs is planks. You can use any individual plank, doesn't matter which one, and that will give you the wooden button. Another important difference, this one here, the wooden one, if you fire arrows at it, you can activate the button, but that doesn't work on the stone one. So that's another main difference there. Important to remember. If you sort of remember in the fact that items do wood and items don't do stone is sort of the easiest way. That's relevant for pressure plates. Here we have our wooden pressure plate, and this is our stone one. Main difference, wooden one, as you can see, an item activates it, and so does standing on it. That provides power. Whereas the stone one, if I could actually get anything on it that would be useful. You see, no effect whatsoever, but standing on it does. So it's important to note that mobs will set off both of these by standing on them, although mobs can't use buttons. Again, you can make them out of 2 planks. Any 2 planks is fine, even a mix. So such as spruce, jungle. And the stone one is just 2 bits of stone together. Now these two are new to the 1.5 Redstone update. These are the weighted pressure plates. Now if you look, no effect if I actually stand on them, as designed for items only. If I can actually get an item on it. And the same with this one. The main difference being they both activate with a single item for 1 output of redstone, and then the more items that are on them, the longer a signal you get out of them. I'll explain the difference to redstone signals in a few minutes. This one works on a few items will increase the signal, another few will increase the signal, and that's why it's the light one. And you can make that with 2 gold ingots next to each other. Whereas this one, pretty much you have to throw more or less whole stacks on to start increasing the power, and that's why it's a heavy one. And simply 2 iron ingots next to each other to make it. If you can find a good use for these, good luck. Most people haven't, but they're there for if you want to use them. Now, this little one here, it takes a little bit of explaining. This is actually string that's been put down here, but it's not relevant to the part we're talking about as such. It's just what enables it to be activated. So it's a tripwire basically. And this is a tripwire hook. A couple of these, bit of string in the middle, and it will detect people passing over and items and mobs, that sort of thing. You can also place this in the air as well, which makes it a bit more difficult to see and catch people. Again, planks, stick above, iron ingot, any plank you feel like, and you'll get 2 tripwire hooks in this particular recipe. Now this little thing, this is another new component to the 1.5 Redstone update. It's the daylight sensor. Now, previously, trying to build a daylight sensor in Minecraft was an absolute pain, and so it relied on block updates, tended to break if you were multiplayer, and so on. But now, this little device here, once it's connected up to Redstone, it will output a different length signal depending on what time of the day it is. So you can tell how far the sun is up, trigger things only happen at certain times of the day, and so on. It's not affected by torches or lava or anything like that. No light source other than the sun. If it's fully covered up, it won't work. Now, these are how you build them again. 3 wooden slabs along the bottom. Any mix is fine. You'll need 3 the nether quartz, which as says earlier is in the nether quartz ore, and there's 3 glass on top, and you get one of these lovely little things. Another new thing is the trap chest. Now if you look carefully at these 2 chests, this one has red around the edge there, and a normal chest doesn't. And if we just get up here and just open it, and look carefully as I close, there's a slight red trim on the inside, which is different from that one. These will output redstone power down and sideways, and the signal they output basically gets longer depending on how many people are looking in it. So that's got some sort of limited uses. Quite easy to make. Chest, and to the side a tripwire hook. So it's pretty logical. Chest and a tripwire hook, so obviously it gets tripped by opening it. Final one of the things that output actual power is our detector rail here, which you can see 3 iron ingots on each side, a pressure plate in the middle here, nice little stone pressure plate, a bit of redstone here, and you'll get 6 detector rails. In this case, it just detects the passing of carts and things over the top. It's also capable of telling how full they are if connected up to a comparator. So that's all the various things that can produce redstone power. So feel free to go back and sort of review them. Now if we go up here, to get power from one place to another, if you couldn't do that, obviously they'd be kind of pointless. Well, that's where Redstone Dust comes in for starters. So that's a nice little splodge of it here. If you just grab some of that, and we do that, it just links up in whatever direction you point it, basically. Important to note that if this is powered, being just a splodge, it will power this one, this one, this one, this one, and the one beneath it, as well as the block it's in. But if we do this so it's connected in a line, it will do there, the ones underneath, and there, but it won't do the ones to the side. So that's important for rerouting power. You can sort of avoid powering things you don't want to. Now, we have repeaters. This allows us to keep extending this, because this has a maximum length of 15, which I'll just pop over here just to confirm. So as you can see, the power gets darker and darker until this point, which is our 15, and at 16, no matter which direction you go in, stops supplying power. The repeater, you put that and it will allow you to extend it for another 15 blocks. It also gets used in regards to delays. This little section here is movable. So in this connection, it does what is known as a 1 redstone tick delay. It's important to remember there are 10 redstone ticks in a minute. No, try that again. 10 redstone ticks in a second. So that's 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, 4/10 of a second. So you can use that for sort of time delay. It also works as a pulse extender. If I was to send a pulse into this that was 1 tick long and do that, it would come out the other end as a 4 tick pulse delayed by 4 ticks. Pretty much. Building it, yet again, stone. So if you are doing this in survival, you're going to be smelting quite a bit of cobblestone back into stone. A couple of redstone torches and your redstone in the middle. Yet again, recipe looks pretty much like what you produce. Now, this one is new to the redstone update. So it looks reasonably similar, but it's a little bit different. And we can do this. It has 2 modes, and this works on the new principle that redstone, despite the fact it always used to fade up to the 15 point, was either an on signal or an off signal. So if I just pop these down here, that one's on, that one's off. As you can obviously quite clearly see, now it's on, now it's off. Well, now it works on an analog principle, so that the further the signal goes, the weaker it is. So this, input into the back, I will demonstrate more of these in the later episodes, but you get input into the back of it, and whatever strength signal goes in the back, it then comes out the front and keeps reducing beyond there, so it doesn't re-strengthen the signal like this one does. In the 2 modes, in one mode, if the signal coming in to either side of it, in these little parts, is stronger than the one behind it, nothing comes out the front. And in the other mode, whatever comes in the side is reduced from what comes in the back, and the rest comes out the front. So for example, say 10 comes in the back, 5 comes in the side, you'll get 5 out the front. If 6 comes in the side, you get 4 out the front, and so on. Just forgot to mention one part in regards to the repeater before we move on. You'll notice it's got notches on this side as well. What that enables it to do is lock it in its current state. So if I was to put another repeater facing it and power it, this would stay powered off even if I sent a signal into the back of it. If these seem a little bit confusing, because describing it's not quite as good as showing it, to be honest, then as I says, do watch future episodes and this will all become a hell of a lot clearer. I would imagine it's probably as clear as mud at the moment. But here's your comparator recipe if you want to build it. 3 stone, 3 torches, and your nether quartz, as it's one of your components. And you can just see the quartz actually in the design there. So that's your power supply around there. This is your power transmission. Now, where can you send the power? Well, we've got a nice little line of stuff around the edge here, and don't worry, these are the last of the components. This map will also be available in the download of the video, so you can have a look around the various bits yourself, and as future episodes are added with extra sections, the world will be updated in the available download. So if you're watching this after a while, you may discover there's a lot more here. So we have dispensers here. Now I've just popped a wooden button on the side so you can actually see easier. If you want to place objects on something rather than looking inside it like that, if you just hold shift and you're clicking on them, we can just place objects on them instead. So a dispenser, you've got your cobblestone arch, redstone down the bottom and in the middle of bow. And just like a bow, if you press the button, it fires objects. So it fires like arrows, fire charges, and as it's also known as a dispenser, it also dispenses stuff like water and lava from buckets inside, bolts, minecarts, that sort of stuff. Now, this is new to the Redstone 1.5 update. This is the dropper. You can see we've got our rather surprised looking expression and then our happy little dropper here. Main difference, if you press the button, any items inside it just get spat out as items. So obviously, arrows, same as in this one. And the recipe also makes sense. It's exactly the same as a dispenser, but no bow in the middle. These little bits you may well have just sort of built and messed around with yourself. They don't need redstone as such, but they can be powered by it. So this is our fence gate. Simply a couple of sticks on the sides, 2 planks in the middle, and same as before, you can mix and match planks as you wish. Trapdoors, again, can be used by hand and can be attached on the bottom or top of blocks. And again, can be controlled by redstone. And 6 planks arranged like this, or any mix, will get you 2 trapdoors. Your wooden door, which you probably recognise, which you can open by hand, can also be controlled by redstone. And that's just your 6 planks in this arrangement. Yet again, any mix of planks. Now the iron door, however, you'll notice clicking it does absolutely nothing. These have to be controlled by redstone power. That's the only way they can be opened, so they can be quite secure. Also, as far as I've noticed, zombies can't break down these ones, but can break down these ones on hard difficulty. So, quite good for keeping your home secure against zombies and stuff. And that's just 6 iron ingots in this arrangement. Now, this is another thing new to the 1.5 update, the hopper. I'll show you the recipe first. As you can possibly guess, with the iron ingots round the shape in a bucket and a chest inside, it's actually sort of stores items. And you can also combine one with a minecart, and you can have a portable one. What these actually do is you can take items and throw them in, and it will stay inside it. But also, whichever way they're pointing, if this is pointing, say, into a chest here or off to the side, they'll transport items around. On the subject of transporting items, I should probably mention this and this can face any 4 directions, and as 1.5 can face up and down as well. So just useful there. And this is just our minecart version of it. Powered rail. You've got your 3 gold ingots on each side, your stick and your redstone, and you'll get 6 powered rail out of it. Now, if we just flip it on and off, you can see when it's in an unpowered state, it basically works as a brake. Any minecarts that are sitting on it won't go anywhere, and any ones that travel onto it will slow down and stop. When you power it, it will speed up any minecarts that are on it. And if it's placed next to a wall or whatever, for example, say like that, then a minecart will need you power it and it will head off in that direction. That will not work if it's just sat like this and you put a minecart on it, it just won't move. Activator Rail. This is new to 1.5 as well. So we power on and off. Fairly similar. Iron ingots on the side, stick top and bottom, and a torch in the middle, and you'll get 6 activator rails out of that. What this basically does is, if I just hop in inventory here, we've got minecarts with TNT in them. If one of them passes over an activator rail when it's powered, it will basically ignite it and make it blow up. So we're almost done with the various parts. Note block, these have been in the game for absolutely ages. This one's just going FUD because of the type of block it's on. But obviously they do play different notes, as you can hear. So it's like piano, guitar, that sort of thing. Fairly simple again. They're just wooden planks around the outside, redstone in the middle, and any wooden planks you feel like. So they can quite happily be powered by redstone. You can left click them and make them activate, but not in creative mode. If I was to hit that, I'd destroy it. Then we have our redstone lamps. So, nice pretty little thing there. See, power on and off. Goes on fairly quick, slight delay on the off. And it's just glowstone, 4 redstone around it in a cross shape. And you get yourself little powered lights. Pistons. These have been in the game for a little while. And what they're designed for is just pushing blocks. They can push up to a line of 12 blocks. Any longer than 12 and it won't push. Just cobblestone down the sides. Planks across the top. Any mix is fine. Your iron get inside, which is basically the piston that pushes out. And your redstone, obviously, for the power of it. There you go. They can face any of the 6 directions as well. Sticky version actually transports whatever block it is attached to. And that's just your piston with a slime ball on the top to make it sticky. Final couple of parts. I'm not going to activate this one for obvious reasons. If I activate this TNT, it will blow up. But if we power that by redstone, same as if you used flint and steel, nice big explosion. Also fairly easy to make. 4 sand like that. Gunpowder and across. Gunpowder you only tend to get in dungeons or from creepers, so it can be a rare resource if you're not in creative. And one with a minecart just pops it into the TNT minecart, which is the one that I referred to. If it runs over the activator rail, will blow up when this is turned on. And the final component for today is the command block. Now you notice there's no chest for it. Reason being, there is absolutely no recipe for this either. That can be run from power, so if you see, just saying hello to me in the corner there. But if you want one, you have to be in creative mode, and you must have commands turned on, and it's /give your player name, or whichever player you want to give it to, then 137, and that will give you command blocks, and you can set commands inside them. So this one just says, say hi to the closest player. Various command things are a bit more advanced. We won't be running through them for quite a few episodes. But there you go. So that's all the various blocks. We'll just have a little flyby there. All the various power sources, transmission, and the various things you can activate using it. So I do understand that's probably quite an overload on the various components and everything. Feel free to sort of rewind it and have a look at the various parts and all that. Also, feel free to download the map and have a look at all the bits, see if you can do anything with them. And I will see you next episode. So thanks for watching. Bye-bye.